All right, am I live? Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Talking with Dr. Donna. I'm Dr. Donna White-Carey. I am your host, and you know what we're going to do tonight? We're just going to talk. We're going to just do some real talk, because sometimes you just got to sit people down and say, hey, this is what we are doing tonight. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk. I'm going to talk to you, and I'm going to show you some stuff, okay? So you can see exactly where it comes from, and then we're going to talk about it because it's really, really important. And I want to make sure that you get it. So you know what my goal is here, to build generational health. What does that mean? That means we're taking care of your physical, your spiritual, your mental, and our environmental health. All of that is so important. And that is how we build generational health. We build generational health by paying attention to those four pillars, those four aspects: physical health, spiritual health, mental health, and environmental health. We do that. If every generation focuses in on those aspects of health, we're going to have a healthier generation now. My generation, your generation is going to be healthier. And then our successive generations will also be healthy. So I need you guys to just chat, comment, let me know that you are here. If you are here and this is your first time, welcome. You have an appointment every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. with your doctor, Dr. Donna. If this is not your first time, welcome back. Thank you so much for continuing to come back. I'm hoping that I'm providing you with some information that you may not have heard anywhere else, because like I said, tonight, we're just going to do some real talk. If you have any questions, you can leave it into the chat and comment section, and I will do my best to monitor the comment and answer your questions. So first thing I want to do here, because this is live, I'm doing our production by myself tonight. I want to show you some statistics, okay? So I'm going to share my screen so that you can see it, and I want, I'm going to go to, where am I going? To this data. I'm going to just go here. I want you to see where how you get to this data, okay? So I'm going to show you this right here. These beautiful little gems, okay? So we're looking at data. We are on Alameda County Public Health Department's website, so that you too can go look at this. This is nothing special. It's not specific to, to me. Anybody can access this information, and I want you to access it, and you should access it regularly. There's a couple things that I want us to just look at tonight. First thing, I want to look at this right here. The number of cases, the number of deaths. You know, we always talk about this because it's important that you recognize that there are still people who are getting coronavirus, and there are still people who are being hospitalized with coronavirus, and more specifically, there are people who are continuing to die from coronavirus. On this slide, there's a couple of things I want you to know. First of all, I want you to look at the number of cases where we are in Alameda County. We're up to over 79,000 cases. That's over 79,000 people who have tested positive for coronavirus. Almost 80,000 people in our county. That's a lot of people. That should give you pause. That should help you feel like, wow, that's quite a few people that are impacted by this virus. The number of deaths. So just last week, if you watch my show, just last week, we were under 800 deaths. Now, a week later, here we are over 1,000 deaths, okay? So we're at 1,126 people who have died, when last week we were about less than 800. So that tells you there's a couple of hundred of people who are dying every week from this virus. I need you guys to get that. This is not a conspiracy. This is not something people are making up. People are dying, okay? Now I want you to come focus down right here, because this is the next slide that I want you to pay attention to. The Alameda County total cases by age group. This is the age group right here, 18 to 30. Can you see it? I'm trying to see if you can see it. Can you see 18 to 30? If you can't see the number, just look at this bar that's way out here beyond everything. Remember that Sesame Street? You know, one of these things is not like the other. Okay, one of these bars is way too far out. That's this bar, the 18 to 30-year-old age group. I'm talking to you out there, young adults, college students, young people between the ages of 18 and 30. You are the ones that are a part of this over 80,000. You have over 20,000 cases in your age group. Now, why is that? Why is that? That's the question. Why is that? 18 to 30-year-olds, I'm talking to you. Why is that? I need you to recognize that what we're talking about is impacting people, okay? Just keep this in mind. 18 to 30-year-olds have the highest number of cases, right? Okay. So now let's go to this age group of the people who are dying, okay? 18 to 30-year-olds, they have that long bar, number of cases. But I want you to look at the people who are dying. Where's this long bar? It flipped, right? The long bar was up here at the top in terms of cases and age groups. Now you look at the age group of 18 to 30, they hardly have any deaths because they're not the ones dying. But the people who are dying are the ones who are over 81, it's the highest group, and those who are between the ages of 71 to 80, that's the next biggest group. So the people who are dying are the older people. We know that, right? Those are the people who are dying. But those 18 to 30-year-olds with the high number of cases are not the ones dying. What we don't have a statistic of, which I wish we did, is the number of those 18 to 30-year-olds who got sick, who went into the hospital, and they may not have died, but they had a stroke or a significant disability. And now at the age of 25, 30, 35, they are now in a wheelchair. They are now needing to walk on a walker. They are now needing long-term rehabilitation to learn how to eat again and learn how to walk again. We don't even have that statistic. That's not even something that we're keeping track of, but it is a significant number. I see it every day at work. I see those young people, 25, 30 years old, who've had a stroke, been in the hospital for 63 days, are now trying to get over their disability, but they're young. They didn't die, so they're not in the death statistic, but they're getting sick and disabled. So 18 to 30-year-olds, highest cases. Death, our highest cases are in the 71 and above. All right, now here's the other thing we want to look at, right? My last data, this is our looking at our numbers. Thankfully, we're coming down a little bit, which is great news. But we also want to look at deaths by race, okay? So let's see, let's do our death rates. And here we go. So this box right here, as we're looking at our deaths by race. And where's that big bar out here? African Americans and Blacks. So by race, the highest number of deaths are in the African American community, almost twice as high as any other community. All right, we looked at cases. I'm going to go back because I want you to look at the total number of cases by race. Highest cases by race are Latino. It's in the Latino community, right? Highest cases of, highest cases by race, Latino. Highest deaths by race, African American. Highest number of cases in the age group, 18 to 30. Highest number of deaths, greater than the age of 70. So you see that disparity, okay? We see Blacks, Latinos impacted by cases and death, and we see our age groups difference, okay? Now, I want to go up here to the slide that is, you should be the slide of all slides. Like when this information became available, I said, thank you, hallelujah, because it's making the case of why this is happening in our community in terms of our rates of vaccination. Lord, our rates of vaccination, okay? Highest number of cases by age, 18 to 30, highest number of cases by race, Latinos, highest deaths, African Americans. Let's look at who's getting the vaccine, right? Because the vaccine was created to stop severe illness and death. That was the whole goal of the vaccine. The scientists were said, hey, we need you to find something where if people get this virus, they won't die. That was the goal of the vaccine. Okay, it wasn't to prevent necessarily mild illness. It is to stop you from dying if you get infected with this virus. All right, let's look at who's getting the vaccine. All right. Now, the blue is your first dose. The yellow is your second dose. So the blue and the yellow together means that this group is totally vaccinated, right? It's gotten its 2 doses. All right, now I want you to look. Oh, things have changed over the last week, so thank God. The highest rate of those who have had their first shot, right? We got a lot of our 65 to 74-year-olds getting their first shot. That's fantastic. That's super fantastic. I'm so excited about that. But look at the age group that have already gotten through their first shot and your second shot. Now, you should want the older people to get through their first shot and their second shot, right? Because we know they're the ones at highest risk of dying. But when you look at our data here, we're seeing that the highest group that's gotten their first shot and their second shot are the 35 to 49-year-olds. They weren't in any of those things we just talked about. They weren't the highest number of cases by age, nor were they the highest number of deaths, but they are the highest vaccinated. Can I just pause there? Because you should be side-eyeing with me. Something's wrong with that picture, right? Okay, actually, they're in the workforce, so that's one good thing, right? They're probably the healthcare workers. That's a good thing, but let's just keep it moving here. Let's look at our vaccine doses by race. Okay, are you guys seeing this one with me here? See my cursor moving? First dose and second dose, highest number of cases were in what? Latino community. Highest number of deaths were in what? African American community. Highest number of completely vaccinated in the white community. I'm not frozen, I'm pausing for effect. Highest number of vaccinated in the white community. Listen, let's look at the African American community down here. Listen, folks, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about tonight. Stop it. You have got to get vaccinated, Black people, okay? We have talked about this before. I completely understand the mistrust. I've told you it's justified. But listen, this vaccine is meant to prevent you from getting severe disease and dying, and you are not getting vaccinated. So I'm going to tell you about some opportunities because I really want you to think it through. I'm not going to go back over the science because I've done it in multiple of my episodes. If you'd like to hear about the science of the vaccines, come back and look at my videos, review those videos because I've gone through the science over and over and over. You can stop it, rewind it. You can do anything you need to do to get the information, but I'm not going to go back over it again tonight, okay? The vaccines are limited, right? Johnson & Johnson is the 3rd vaccine that is going through the FDA cycle right now. They're reviewing the data. They're looking at it to see if they want to give this 3rd vaccine emergency use, okay? Probably in the next couple of weeks, by the beginning of March, they will start to distribute. Now, we were hoping that they had a stockpile of vaccines. It's a 1-dose vaccine. So we were thinking, oh, we're going to be able to use this vaccine to help vaccinate certain populations of people where this vaccine is going to be helpful. Well, we find out today they only have a few million doses. Okay, so they're not going to be significantly impacting what we do right now in terms of our vaccine because they don't have enough stockpile to distribute it out. What we have right now, the Pfizer vaccine and the Moderna vaccine, limited supply. That means that at some point we might run out of vaccine and it may not be here available for you to even get. So there's a couple of options happening right now where you can get a vaccine. Here in Oakland, the Coliseum site is a site of vaccination. It's not a perfect site. I did a walkthrough on Monday. It by no means is perfect. It is not going to be without its drama and its trouble. But guess what? Once you roll through that Coliseum, you will have been on your way to be getting safe from getting the virus and dying. Okay. So the Coliseum site is a viable site for you. You can drive to the Coliseum site. You can drive to the BART station and the AC transit buses that they have contracted with will bring you to the Coliseum. There are no direct walk-ups. You cannot walk across that bridge and get to the Coliseum like you're going to a game. You have to get on these buses that will transport you to the pedestrian village, which is what they call it for those who are walking to get your vaccine. But that's an option because they are saying they have 6,000 doses that they can give every single day. They're going to be here for somewhere between 6 to 8 weeks. That's fantastic, right? So you go to My Turn and log in, get yourself registered, and then you can get this vaccine, okay? Super important that you get that awareness tonight. The other option for you is to go to Fremont High School. That's through the Alameda County Public Health Department. You can get that vaccine there. You can get that there. And then FEMA is going to be doing some mobile clinics here in Oakland in the community where there will be a site where you will be able to come and get your vaccine. I'm on it, TrueVine, we're on it. We are on their radar to be a site, and I'm just waiting for them to tell me the date. And when they tell me the date, I'm going to tell you the date, and I expect to see you there getting vaccinated. I wanted to show this data tonight about the vaccine more than anything and anything else we can talk about because it is so important to prevent the spread and prevent you from getting sick is to get your vaccine. Okay, so I just wanted to just have a little bit of real talk tonight. That's it. About what we're doing and why we're doing it, because we want to save your life. And it's just that simple. We want to save your life. You can't be here for the next generation if you're not here, right? It doesn't matter if you have healthy generational health if you're not here, right? We have to put aside these comments and talk about what has been done to us in the past. And listen, I'm not saying we're going to forget it, but I'm saying that here we are. We know that there is still institutional racism. We know that there is racism that still happens when you get hospitalized by doctors. We know all of that. But that does not have anything to do right now with trying to save your life. This vaccine is the lifesaver that they are trying to throw you, that we are trying to throw you. You got to grab onto it and you got to go get the vaccine. All right. So that's all I wanted to say tonight. There's so much going on everywhere. So much is happening. I know that you all are just feeling the pressure of being home, being locked in, but this is not the time for you to just go out and stop doing and reversing the ground that we've made. Continue to wear your mask everywhere you go when you're outdoors. Leaving your house wearing a mask. Social distancing. We can't start gathering now because you're feeling good. And if you've got both doses of your vaccine, that doesn't mean that you are willy-nilly free, can just go out and do whatever you want to do. You have to still take precautions. Why? Because you can still be a spreader, believe it or not. Doesn't mean that, again, the reason for the vaccine was to prevent you from dying, not to prevent you from spreading the disease, but to prevent you, if you come into contact with it, prevent you from dying. So no social distance, no big social events, wearing a mask, washing your hands regularly, making sure that you use sanitizer when you're out, all of those things that we've been talking about for the past year. I mean, it's been almost a year. We've been talking about the same thing: wearing a mask, social distancing, not gathering. We've been talking about all this stuff. It's not new. Been saying it over and over and over for a year. But yet, here we are, a year later, over 80,000 people infected with the disease, almost 1,200 people in our county alone dead, numerous number of people hospitalized whose lives have been changed forever because now they have difficulty walking, talking, eating, thinking, right? We can prevent it and we can stop it. Get this vaccine while you can. That's all I have for tonight. Let me see if anybody got any questions. I don't see any questions in the chat tonight. It's a short Talking with Dr. Donna. I have a lot going on. It's Black History Month. I forgot to give my shout out to my Black History today. So our woman, doing a woman today, our woman is Andre Lorde, who is a poet, American poet. She had a couple of quotes that I really love that I want to share with you. One is, your silence will not protect you. I love that, right? Being silent about your health and how you're feeling is not going to protect you. Being silent about who's getting the vaccine in our community is not going to protect us. We have to speak out and say something, do something. Come on, say, you say something, do something. Say something when we're seeing it. So the other thing that she liked is that quote that she said that I like, which is, revolution is not a one-time event. So I know all you Oaklanders out there love that, right? The revolution doesn't happen just one time. It happens multiple times, and we are in the midst of a healthcare revolution, I hope, for our people. So take care of yourselves. I love you. This is from Dr. Donna, Talking with Dr. Donna. Next week, we're going to have an update with some data from people from Public Health Department. So we're going to have some real conversation about what this data really means. We're going to really dig into it and really get the information that you probably want to know about how does it impact you, your neighborhood, and your family. So thank you so much for watching Talking with Dr. Donna. Remember, every single Thursday at 6:30, you have an appointment with your doctor. Don't miss it. Be safe. Take care of yourselves and your families. Till I see you again next week. Thanks for watching.